Hi, welcome. I'm Edie, and this is Moonlight Divine Channel. Um, I'm going to do a segment on Wednesday evenings. I start at 8 and I go through the signs consecutively until I'm done, usually every hour on the hour, as best I can. And this segment is the Venus Dream Divining Hour. So that's at Wednesdays beginning at 8. This evening we're going to be doing Sagittarians read. I'm going to be divining energies about love, but whatever comes through, like, it's a mixture, depends. Usually it's about love, but lately it's been a little bit more about money, so I'm sort of sensing that it's a little bit of both with Sagittarians right now. I'm also sort of sensing, depending on what your other astrological signs are, so if your sun sign is Sagittarian, you may be experiencing some very difficult times. However, I'm sensing a big turnaround coming up. And it's sort of the destruction of everything that has to go in your life at this particular time. That's sort of what I'm sensing coming in. I'm going to start to shuffle the dream cards that I'm going to be working with. And I'm going to just put on, start to pull out the energy for Sagittarians of what's happening on the astral plane, so that they can help, I can help you guys bring it down into your love life. And wherever else it needs to go, like whatever channeling comes through, I'll bring it through. So working with the goddess Venus through this time, I'm sensing that a lot of people are working on the soulmate, twin soul and divine union paths. And they're all very, very difficult paths to be on, embarking on. And Venus sort of helps us weave energy through all those difficult times. And so that we can sort of live our highest potential. And a lot of people don't understand that some people's lives, their relationships, are their highest potential. So I'm sort of sensing that with this group right now. That's the journey that you guys are on. The main journey, the main purpose of why you've incarnated. And I'm also sensing that there's a lot of karmic energy that you're cleaning up, have cleaned up, and still at this moment are. I'm sort of sensing there's been a big, if you have not experienced a big tower moment in the past few days, either today or yesterday, it's coming within this next, I'm not exactly sure. I'm sensing a few things, either a week or 4 days. I'm going to pull out some of the cards later, and I'm going to touch on that later, but I feel like numbers right now are important for you. Possibly number 10 has been really significant in your life, and number 4. So let's once again go on the dream time for Sagittarians. This is for the October 3rd Pluto direct energy coming in. It's a huge energy for Sagittarians, so don't be surprised if you have a lot of ups and downs coming in the next little while, just to straighten out, iron out some energies that have been presenting themselves. Whoop, whoop. Okay, exactly 3 cards is what I want. You know, as I pull these cards out, I feel like I'm having a deja vu right now. I feel like I've already pulled these cards out and I just did it now. Interesting. So the first card I'm getting is the lotus flower. And I'm feeling like the throat chakra. You have been, sorry, there's a little glare there. You've been expressing yourself, but not to other people. I feel like the expression is coming towards the self. You're really discovering who you are. I feel like you're coming to an end of a cycle, and obviously, and opening this new one with Pluto going direct. So you are really honoring your voice and what is true to form for you. I feel like you have consistently led your life for other people, and it's created peace in your world. When you have to stand up, you're afraid of rocking that boat. So you're very careful with your words and how you're presenting things to people. You know that it's a double-edged sword for you Sagittarians. Your tongue is sharp. It can be fire, and that fire, that double-edged sword, it's going to get your point across, but it can also cut. So you know that when you speak your truth, it's going to cut somebody. So you have to find a way where you're working through your own stuff and you are concentrating. Here, listen, you're concentrating on the inward self. When you're concentrating on the inward self, what's going to happen is you're going to go into this little dark cave. Or if you haven't already, you're going into this dark little cave. This dark little cave allows you to look inward and not blame other people, not project anything onto somebody else. And what I mean by that is sometimes you may be like judging someone, and Sagittarians, you can be pretty judgy, you know it. And you can sit there and judge somebody, and you can quietly not say anything, and then have built like resentment. That's what I'm sort of feeling. And so when you do that, it's projecting your own fears, your own problems, your own issues that you have not worked through, which you're pretty good at putting aside and just saying it's somebody else's problem sometimes, not always, but sometimes. Lately, I feel like you've not been doing that, and it's been hurtful and painful, and probably going through some of the dark night of the soul. You're coming out of it. But with coming out of it, you still have these painful things, remembrances going back every once in a while, back and forth. Right now, I feel like you're coming out of that, and you're growing. I sort of jumped ahead a little bit with the expression, but I felt like it was important to say that you're really expressing yourself and how you're expressing yourself. So going inward and having that inward reflection is so important right now. It's more important than doing anything for anybody else. That's it's part of the self-care that is part of your spiritual progression. I feel like you feel a spiritual pull towards something great, and you have your sights on something really big, like Sagittarians do. With this energy, you're going to feel like you want to start and jump fast, really, really fast. We have, Bridget on her horse there, and you know what? Ready to go, ready to fly. And that's all fine and good, but only after you have truly figured out and contemplated going through all the serious moves of what you have to go through in order to get through that just the tail end of the darkness of the night of the soul. I feel dark night of the soul, excuse me. You know that there's always, like, I feel like, you know, you can move things through things very quickly, Sagittarians. You can, as much effort as you have put into something, as much darkness as you have gone through, when you're done, you're done. And I'm sort of sensing that that's what's happening with certain things. It may not necessarily be within a relationship. It could be, I feel like, a job. I actually feel like it's quite a few things. I feel like it's a job. I feel like it's new beginnings with work. I feel like if you are really wanting a specific job, any job that you're after right now, you could easily manifest if you concentrate and shoot that arrow like you know you can, that good strong bow and arrow that you can shoot far, and have that bigger picture in mind and know how to get something out of the mud that you are in and grow and be able to have your voice and speak higher, of a higher vibration, because you've taken this sort of mud that you've been sitting in and mulling in for a long time now. Probably some of you, I would say probably 12-year period. Some of you, it's been a 30-year period. And so sort of seeing a lot of this darker stuff that you guys have been through, but through that is what that seed was like, hard to crack. to nurture, to get to grow up into this lotus flower. And you're sort of using your throat chakra to a great degree right now in order to express all of the visions and experiences that you've pushed forward through into from this darkness into this flower, and you're able to express it. But this is like way up above here, and this is way below. And so you can see the progression of what is happening through the expression right now in the center of everything. I sort of feel that's what you're going through, and we're going to delve into this a little bit deeper. I sort of feel like I'm going to pull out the Egyptian cards that I work with, the tarot. So I'm going to give them a little bit of a shuffle here. So tarot, what do you have to show for Sagittarians that is important at this time? If I'm not really seeing any comments right now, but if you guys make a comment, it does appear quickly and then it disappears and then I don't see it. So if you guys do and I catch it, that's fine. You can ask as much as you need to, but if I don't catch it, I'll probably catch it later. We have the Tower. Oh, Sagittarius. You know the towers are, I was speaking of it before we, before it popped out. So let me just get a few more cards and just see what this is actually relating to. The Two of Pentacles. So finances. There has to be, I feel like there's a total destruction in finances and what you have done in the past. You're making clear decisions. Whoa, clear decisions. Wow. I'll say you're making clear decisions about the future and what you want. I feel, oh, this one was a little bit, this came out inverted. The Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so we have the King of Chalices, we have the Queen of Pentacles inverted, and we have the Fool. So I feel like the destruction of your finances is the main issue right now. Well, it's more than that. And so I feel like there has been some past life karmic soulmate energy that has been sort of cleaned up, but I also feel like it has, I feel like a relationship has incurred some karma for you. A past relationship has incurred karma for you that's affecting you now. And with that, what you've done is clean up things that have been a long time coming. Okay. I feel like I want to get a little bit more guidance from the dream aspect and what we need to bring down into the physical realm. I'm going to use the Dream Gaia Tarot. They're beautiful cards. I feel like some of you are going back to school. You're progressing into a spiritual learning, a higher learning. I feel like it's this cycle you've gone through, this sort of dark night of the soul, has had to happen. There's cycles that needed to transpire in order for you to get to the higher learning period. And you know, I'm going to tell you, Sagittarius, this doesn't matter whether you're in a relationship or not. I feel like this had to happen in order for whatever relationship you're in to progress to the higher level, because I feel like that's happening for you. I feel like for those of you who are sort of awakening, and there are some of you Sagittarians who are just starting to awaken, and you're awakening to a soulmate energy. You're realizing, for those of you who are in a relationship already, you're realizing that that person is your soulmate, and you never looked at them like that before. I really truly feel like you're awakening to that right now. And those of you who aren't in a relationship, you know that that's happening. Also, I'm feeling like there is a recent person that's come back to you. If they haven't, they're coming back. And you were in a serious relationship with this person in the past. They're going to come forward with some legal paperwork. There's some kind of legal paperwork that they want to bring forward to you. But I'm sort of sensing that this legal paperwork is not, it's something that they want to, interesting, you have healing and the crone energy. It's something that they want to heal from also, I'm feeling from, to like a final closure. I'm not actually sure if you're going to actually connect with this person again, but I feel like there is a closure, there's a healing that comes in, and a releasing energy from it, no matter whether you meet in the physical ever again or not. And there's a wisdom that comes from this that you will carry with you from the rest of your life. Not only that, but you're holding that, now that you've worked through that, you're holding that level of energy. Both of you have worked through your karmic energy, the partner, either whether you're with them or not. If you're with them, you're working together. If you're not, you're working together but separately. You've decided, I feel like that soulmate connection karmically is sealed, it's done, it's ended, that contract is finished. And so now it's either on to the next level, or you're both gonna learn from different soulmate energies. I feel though, Sagittarian, that you really understand the depth of what that soulmate potential carries. And I'm feeling like those of you who are not continuing on with the relationship have worked through great sorrow, and like I feel like a death, and some of you may have actually lost your partner in death. And I'm sorry if that is the case. I'm sort of sensing that is the case for some Sagittarians here in the room. Regardless, it's the similar feeling when you lose a partner. It's similar. It's like a death. It's when you decide to really separate from a soulmate. It is very much feels like a death, a separation. It was hard to get into it and hard to get back out of it. That's what I'm sensing. And the love is still there. It's just you're not in love anymore. And that is the very difficult thing to face in the self. That was part of the dark night of the soul that you had to face, was that you love a person, but you're not in love with them. And you can love them and not have them in your life. And lots of things, there's boundaries that needed to be laid that you really did not for many, many, I feel years for the most part. And now that you have, it seems out of character for yourself in general. But here we have the Maiden. After the Crone, you have Maiden. I've been shuffling these cards, and I've been doing readings for a week straight, probably 12 hours a day. And I'm telling you, for the last week, and I've been just shuffling using these again tonight. How does that happen, that they come out like that? So you must be in a whole new cycle where you're starting all over again. From Crone, ending of a cycle. And you also have the Maiden right on top of the Fool energy. So obviously in a very strong beginning of a new cycle, Sagittarians. I'm sort of sensing, Sagittarians, if this is your moon sign, not your sun sign, if this is your moon sign in your astrological chart, that there's hidden excesses that you have been going through. Like you've been very excessive in your behaviors. So I feel like you need to have, there's caution here. I even feel like some of you have had like extreme sexual behavior, and I'm telling you, there's some karmic energy attached to you, and I feel like you should be a little cautious. You should like rein it in a little. I'm actually going to pull out the Romance Angels. I'm not sure who that was for, but I feel like that anyways, and you innately know it, and I feel like you know, so take care of yourself, you know, don't be too little out there. Sagittarius can go a little crazy like that sometimes. I feel like you're learning that as fun as some things can be, oh, look at that. You're not going to believe what came out. I'm going to show you. I don't even know what's underneath these two cards, but look what came out. Like I said, shuffling all day, all different decks. Soulmate, true love. Aww. Okay, so what's underneath it? Healing family issues. Oh, religious factors. New love. So when I see the religious factors, I feel like there's definitely family dogma in your upbringing. So that may have been a factor of some separation issues in all aspects, romantic and family. I feel like karmically this past summer you have healed deeply some family issues. I also feel like you have really truly released some very toxic people who have been family in your life. It's been very difficult to work through, but you did it. That's also another part, dark night of the soul. Feeling completely separated from your family is very challenging to work through. I do see at the end of the day, the last card is a new love, Sagittarians. That's pretty amazing. I gotta tell you, after everything, you do deserve that. You do deserve that. And I do see that. Actually, I do feel for those of you who are separation. Oh, look, there's another one that fell and I didn't even see it. Attraction. So on top of soulmate, true love, healing, religious factors, I feel like that's been a hindrance in your past, but now you're going to use that to your advantage and release that dogma. And you're going to sort of bring a more balanced energy in the Aquarian age that's birthing right now. I sort of feel that energy pull towards more of that thinking. That Aquarian age thinking is releasing the dogma, but taking the good, you know, disciplines and kindness, you know, out of what you've learned. That creates attraction, and then you have new love coming right in. So for those of you who are single, that is definitely new soulmate love coming in. I want to pull out the Moonology deck for timing. I was getting a sense of numbering and timing. I just want to check my timing, actually. So we're good for timing. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm not even sure if anybody's here in the room. If not, I guess you'll see it another time. Okay, so, oh, here we go. Speaking of time, balance, spirituality, and practicality. Full moon in Pisces. So I'm going to leave comments. I'll look up when the next full moon in Pisces is. You know, we just had one that's passed. It very well could be that you have come and, you know, I'm sort of sensing that this is a base of past, this last past moon, the full moon in Pisces, it has really affected you. It's really opened up, I feel like, a lot of water energy of that used to be things that used to be stagnant. I feel like the energy of Pisces sort of has kept you stagnant. I feel like that watery energy put your fire out a little bit. And it's come into balance now, because water for fire can put it out, or it can create steam and spark it and completely transmute and transform everything very, very quickly. So when it works together with the Pisces, like I feel like this last Pisces moon, it worked together with your fire and balanced it and created that steam of energy that you needed, that you felt like a little stagnant for a little while for their Sagittarian. What do you need to release? So on the waning moon, so, you know, perfect timing. Speaking of timing, people, if you were into moon cycles, It's the perfect time to be thinking about what you need to release before tomorrow. I mean, this is it. Here it is. By the end of the day, you're going to be thinking not about what you want to release, but what you're going to be gaining and what you're going to be working towards. And I feel like it's all balanced spiritually and practically in your life. I want to pull out a little bit of the dream cards and see what else is going on the astral plane here that we need to keep aware of. I feel almost, Sagittarian, like this group may not be remembering their dreams very much. And, hello, how are you? Welcome. I may not always see the comments or who's in, so I'll do the best that I can with that. I'm just pulling out some other further energy on the dream of what you guys have been dreaming about. I sort of feel like, oh, we have a gift. I kind of feel like you don't remember much of your dreams lately, Sagittarian. I feel like there's been a lot of stress in your life, and when that happens, you don't remember your dreams so much. This Tower card here, earlier that we had pulled out, I feel like the Tower's come down, like in every aspect. So I feel like with the gift, I feel like someone is going to present you with a gift. I was feeling earlier that someone may come to you with a gift. I wasn't sure what that was about, but I kind of am sensing that someone's going to kind of show, well, possibly like in the mail, you may receive a gift. The cat. So also I feel like darker color cats, black cats, gray cats are coming to you at this time, and I'm sort of sensing that they're kind of protecting your energy field to some degree, but I'm also sensing that they are there to really show you about self-care. It's all about, I feel like there's a little bit of self-care that needs to happen. You've been a little bit, like, I feel like you've been overindulgent with many things as of late, Sagittarian. I also feel like sometimes, though, like a cat, you can go in reclusive. So the opposite end of that, you may have been really indulgent and then over did yourself, and then now you kind of went inward for a little while. A cat will do that as well. Rest and conserve its energy until it can pounce again, you know? Sort of what I'm seeing. I feel like you're going to take a little bit slower, though, with energies. Yeah, you got the spider. So I am sensing with the spider here that you're in planning stages of things ready to unfold. I feel like I need to use another deck here, and we're going to use the Phantasmagoria deck. Whoop. We have the Seven of Grails and the World. So I was sort of sensing you're planning something really big, and I feel like there's possibly a move involved. If you're, you may have your sights on something very unique, but I also feel like it's something that you've always known that you're going to move forward to. I feel like you're going to move there like a cat. You're going to move there like a cat. You're going to be quiet. You're going to watch what you're doing. You're going to plan. You're going to receive. I feel like you're going to receive a gift in jury, probably by the end of October, or there's going to be a definite plan set in place by October, end of October, and then you're able to move and shift through a plan, a state. And I do feel like, you see it. I feel like you've known Sagittarian, I feel like you've seen this. I feel like you've seen this in visions, but or feelings, or just knowing. That's what I'm sensing. And I feel like you're going to know the time to act. You're going to know the time to raise that energy and move and pounce like the cat, and actually like the spider. I'm sort of feeling like I need to use one other deck here. These are a little mixed up. This is the Dream Gaia deck. Really pretty fantastic deck. The very beautiful artwork on it. And let's just see what Mother Gaia here has to say for Sagittarians concerning their love life. I feel like that might have been a lot of energy about finances coming through. I feel like there was energy dealing with finances that you've had to really struggle and work through. Here, cards are flying. Wow, you know, I've used this deck different in every single different sign. And Sagittarian, like, they've popped out again. Body and mind, every single like layout, these have popped out. How interesting. So everybody must be going through a, sort of a physical transformation. I'm wondering why, maybe at the collective at the end, when I do a collective reading for all the signs, it might clarify that a little bit more. But I'm sort of feeling like everybody's going through a physical transformation. I feel like, Sagittarian, that some of you may have gone through a complete physical body transformation. You may have, I'm picking up that some of you have lost a lot of weight. You may have been trying to, so congratulations. I feel like there's a whole body transformation because you've set your mind to where you need to be, and you've cleared up space in your mind, so it's cleared up space on the physical body. There's been overindulgence, but I feel like that was more like sexual, so this also is to do with taking care of your sexual health, and just to not overindulge where it's depleting you, you know? That's what I'm sensing, inner and out of a relationship. I'm definitely feeling a relationship come in for you. New love, new soulmate energy, and true love. I'm definitely seeing that with this. I feel like, you know, I feel like you meet them interesting. So I just pulled out at the bottom the Death card. So I feel like whatever you were dealing with in the past is completely done and over, and you've set your mind to that, so it has come to be form. That's what I'm seeing. It's come to physical form. And so you're building now your egg of energy, your sort of bubble of what you want. You're planning with the Fool, the new stage coming in, and, you know, rising up from that energy of stagnicity, from that mud, what was keeping you stagnant and stuck for so long, and rising up into the whole throat chakra, you know. Well, that's okay if it's only you watching. I don't know. I think there's a few other people, but even if it's just you, eventually it gets out on live anyhow. So it's all good. Thanks for coming. Welcome. And I'll tap into the collective reading of other people. So, oh, you're very welcome. No problem. I was feeling the energy come in for all the signs for me to do a reading, an individual reading. I'm going to do them I'm going to try to stick about half an hour to an hour each, as much as I can. And I'll be doing them on the hour, every hour. We're just at Sagittarian. We started at Libra. Somehow Taurus got snuck in there earlier. I don't know. I was used to doing signs, and I think I'm a little tired from doing so many readings. But there's a little intro in the beginning, and you guys can go back, rewind, and watch. You know, I don't know why I'm still shuffling here, this deck, but here we go. I'm going to pull this out. This is the Emperor here, and I'm sensing the Emperor. I'm feeling like in the past, I was feeling energy from the past. I didn't want to go into it too much, but it may have effect of why you've been going through some serious health issues, I feel. Past relationships with the Emperor, can be very like stagnating. This other stagnating energy from the dream world of the mud, sticking in the mud. I feel like it was stagnant and it kept you in this mud down here, And in this mud, you've risen up and able to have found your voice somehow through that suppression and through that control. I feel like some of you have been dealing with a very controlling, dominating, self-centered relationship where, and Sagittarians, nobody's perfect, and so Sagittarians can be quite that way as well. So I'm sensing there's a group of Sagittarians that I'm talking to that I was talking about earlier, about that whole sexual escapade energy, that you guys have been selfish too. So I feel like, I'm not sure if that's what it is, if you guys have been in not faithful, but for the most part, Sagittarians, when you're committed, I know you're very faithful, but when you step outside that, you really do, and you go a little off, and I'm sort of sensing that maybe that's why this control, has kind of come in. And I feel like if you're the woman who has done that and stepped out, then Sagittarian, the backlash of that, usually, you're going to be the femme fatale, then that backlash is that dominance over top of that. That's the human nature, the state of the human nature that the Aquarian age is sort of birthing, in which working through those issues with the relationships is able to sort of birth into the Aquarian age a new form of forgiveness and healing. And I am sensing that you're sort of understanding that there is a science to it. There is a spirituality to it, and there is also a science and a balance between the two. That's what I'm sort of picking up for you, Sagittarians. I feel like I'm going to pull out some romance angel cards for you guys. Oh, I already did that, but I don't know. I usually pull out the other angels, the other cards, but I was just feeling to pull one more for angel romance. So, whoop! Wow, the whole deck wants to come out. You guys got greedy, and look what you got. Flirt. I think I was just saying you did enough of that. Maybe let's just see what's underneath it here. In the proper context, or retreat. Oh, look at, okay, I'm going to just pull all these cards out. We have flirt. Let's just see the pattern here. Retreat. Romantic feelings. Are you starting to fall in love and have feelings for somebody, Sagittarian? I'm kind of thinking so. Keep an open mind. As I was talking about soulmate energy, maybe you're highly doubtful. Deception from the past. You have a reason that you may feel very cautious and about this romantic feelings that you're experiencing. These romantic feelings that you're experiencing, these new romantic feelings that we pulled out earlier, I want you to keep an open mind. The angels are asking you to keep an open mind, to let go of that deception. Okay, this was in the reverse. Interesting. Let your friends help you. So have you been rejecting help from people, Sagittarian? Have you been a little prideful? Maybe even not, some of you not telling the truth about how you actually feel about things. So you kind of, earlier we were talking about the dream, about finding your voice and speaking your voice and experiencing it. I feel, Sagittarians, that that's what's sort of happening right now with you. There's a whole other a bunch of cards that fell out from the romance angels. And I haven't picked them up, but I'm gonna just quickly, because I'm sensing it, I'm feeling it for you, I'm gonna quickly go through them. So you have engagement, honeymoon. So usually, listen, I was saying earlier, I feel sense that someone may be coming back in from a past, just briefly, for a small group of you. The reconciliation, for those of you who have reconciliation with a past love, a significant relationship past. I feel like this person has This person has left you and no explanation, no nothing. It's very hurtful. Some of you may even have been left at the altar, I feel. Some of you have, anyways, regardless, is a serious commitment. And it was, I feel like, just cut off and not by you. And so it was very painful. That was part of the painful growth you went through. The reconciliation's coming if it hasn't happened recently. That's not true, actually. That's not true. They complement each other quite well, in fact, depending on the other person's sun and moon and Venus signs. Venus, see, those are personality signs. Your moon, your sun sign is your personality sign. Your moon sign is your subconscious reflection. So, you know, what affects your love life is actually your Venus placement. So learn where your Venus placement is, look up your natal chart, and that will help you understand more about where your love life is, where it needs work, and what you're working with the goddess Venus. So to whatever degree that is in your placement, then you'll be able to find that. Okay? You can ask about that later. So in that past life, so this is definitely, this reconciliation is a past life. It can go one of two ways. It can either have left you, or you can actually be reconciliated with the other person. And how you're going to know the difference, the way you communicate, the person that you're going to be with is able to communicate with you. The person that you've left is unable to communicate. No matter how much they choke on it, they cannot communicate. It's impossible for that person to communicate. So if you're a cross watcher and you're the non-communicative one, communicate. I know it's hard. I know you just, we all love you, cross watchers. So here it is. The past life connection. If it's done, it's done. And if you can't speak about it, then you know you wish the other person well, and then you move on. So having a heart-to-heart conversation is underneath. That is applicable, obviously, for past life healing and moving on, or reconciliation, whichever one you're working towards. And I feel, Sagittarians, like you have a choice. And this next card actually confirms this. Pay attention to the red flags. You know innately you need to stop being that naive person that is kind to everybody, doing things for everybody, and then lashing out because that passive aggressive, you know, the Sagittarians can be like that. And I'm seeing that. And through that, when you do that, when you pay attention to, I feel like who you felt was a soulmate in the past, and they were, but the choice was to end it. So you have to come to terms with it. And now that you have, you realize that you're not really in love with that person anymore. Yeah, so when I go to Aries, then that would be the sign, that would be the, if you're concerned about if you're for working with your love life, then that's the sign that you listen to is Aries. Okay, when I get there, I haven't done Aries yet. So when I get there, then you'll see it posted. I'm going into the night doing readings every hour on the hour. So after the unrequited love, you realize that this person is the one that you've left and decided that's not where you want to be. You call in the correct soulmate for this time. I also feel like, Sagittarian, some of you have left a soulmate that did not want to fulfill the contract that they had with you. And because of that, they're going to go on their journey as if they were with you, but it's with a different person, and you are going to do the same with another person. Excuse me for a minute. So as you release that old energy, that stagnant energy that you were hanging on to that dark night of the soul, that calls in when you release it. That's the energy that makes you magnetic. And I do think that you have experienced that over this last year, that you've experienced magnetism to different degrees. It's been off and on. So this last card is a surprise for everybody. You guys get to see it first. I'm not sure what it is. Oh, it's inverted. Oh, goodness. Give your relationship a chance. So you know, with this unrequited love, calling in your soulmate, if you want to call in your soulmate, you have to release that old energy. If you haven't done so already, that seems to be the key for you. So that's quite an in-depth reading the romance angels wanted to talk to you about. One more card for Sagittarians in the Egyptian energy. Yep, one I felt like one wanted to pop out. The Knights of Chalices. So I feel like this is a new beginning in love. Once again, that's confirmation. So they're just, the cards are starting to get repetitive. So that's telling me the reading is done here, Sagittarian. All the different cards, different decks are saying the same thing. So thank you very much for joining me. And if you need any other information about things, then you're more than welcome to leave more comments. I will get to them. I have more readings to do, but eventually I'll get to your comments. And I obviously can't answer all the comments, but I will do the best that I can for the important ones that you need to get further on. And you can always please like and share, and please go on to YouTube and subscribe to my channel. When you subscribe, you'll get all the new videos that I'm doing up there. And when I go live, you'll also get notifications from that if you hit the bell button there. And it's supporting in a way, if you cannot afford to financially, then with actual money, then it's a way that you can do it without money. So that's always very helpful to circulate that information for other people as well. You're helping heal other people as well if they need to hear information about this. So all of your support is greatly appreciated, and we'll hope to see you again next Wednesday. We'll be doing it all again starting at 8, and I'm not sure what sign I'm going to start with. Who knows? I'm not sure. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. And thank you very much for joining me, everyone, and everyone who's not here that in the future that will see this. Thanks for viewing me, and we'll talk to you another time. Bye for now.